We are just going to continue where we stopped on a podcast. And what would you say, like, guys, we are just continuing the podcast where we stopped last time. Basically, we'll just go through training, general fitness, and we'll just speak about mistakes that coaches are making very often, and why the coaches here in Dubai, why they are not able to level up using the leverage which they can earn or learn, either paying the courses or learn on YouTube, educating themselves. But nowadays, I would say there is so many trash out there that you cannot filter information. Because one thing that I understood a long time ago is that if you want to sell something, you need to preach the story. As story gets on other side of the scale, it could be stupid and very smart. So you need to get out of the mainstream. For instance, if me as a coach goes online and tells people to lose weight, you need to drop your calories. Everyone knows that. So it's very hard to get why do I choose you? But if you find a way to explain same content on different levels, either knowledgeable or like funny levels, you will get out of this mainstream. They call it prolific for some reason, and these people are the people who are taking the money online. So, but our purpose here is not to speak about calories deficit and etc. What they can take from us today, actually from you, what they can take. What would you say for a coach who is lost, not knowing where to start, not knowing where to invest and what to leverage? What would you say? Give me the 3 steps.
Step 1, contact us. Step 2, give us all your money. Step 3, do what we say. That was good, huh?
That's a good one. I didn't expect this one. I didn't expect this.
Sign up, click up, press, in all seriousness.
Just put the card details.
Card details, the CV, the last, those 3 digits. Give us your Emirates ID, passport, proof of address.
Everything you can place. We'll put the form. And
give me your SIM card so I can do the OTP.
Anyway. Look, that would be amazing if is it an option. But first, we need to earn the trust, you know.
Yeah. So here's the biggest thing, and this is the biggest problem in today's world. For me, that has the blessing, or maybe curse, it depends on how you want to look at it, of consulting with billionaires, royal families, presidents, been there, done that. The one thing that people are getting lost in is they, as you said, they can't tell the difference. Everyone's saying the same types of nonsense and people are lost because people have forgotten this number one most important thing when it comes to sales. People buy from people like themselves. And it's the number one rule of sales. Now, I used to work in the FMCG market and I used to teach corporate sales and all that nonsense. So sadly, I have knowledge of that black art, which I resigned when I used to hang up my Hackett suits. But people will always buy from people that like themselves. The biggest problem with average fitness coach today, they don't know who they are. They have no identity themselves. They'll look at Luka and go, I want to be like Luka. They'll look at the latest prostitute-like Instagram account. I want to look like her. But it's like, you're not her. You're not Luka. You're not me. You're you. And you are made unique. You have a unique story, a unique upbringing, a unique personality. You have to know who you are. And that's the biggest thing that's lost in today's world. And it's why there's no relatability and why people are so lost and why trainers cannot make any impact. Because if you don't know who you are, you don't know who the heck you're going to try and target. I remember when I was working with you back in the day, and I always remember this conversation, and don't get upset, but I was really upset at you when you didn't take my advice. When you were looking to buy a car, remember I said, Luka, the best decision you can make is if you bought a Porsche. You remember this?
Yeah, I think I
And you ended up buying a BMW.
Yeah.
I said, you should have gone for the Porsche, because I don't know if you pinged it, but the correlation when you started getting nice watches and flashing them, flexing your nice watches, how your income increased. And if you then started turning up at 7 Gym in a Porsche, your income would have then tenfolded. And it was, Mark Coles, he was a very clever guy. He did it way back 15 years ago, and he did it with a Ferrari. And the Ferrari paid itself off within 2 years because of how his income increased because he had a Ferrari. And I heard this story. One of my clients, I used to work in DIFC, and he was a multi-millionaire self-made, but he was nothing compared to his insurance broker. And he told me the story about how he met this insurance broker. And he goes, this guy is a genius. And he hustled it so well from the beginning. Poor Indian man from nothing. He put all of his money into a nice car. So he started with a BMW. He'd do a business meeting in a hotel, reserve the table overlooking the car park. And he'd always turn up late, valet his car. So he'd turn up in a BMW. The people who were meeting drove a Volkswagen. They wanted BMW. So they'll listen to him because they want to be like him. It's relatable. Until it evolved that he was turning up in a Rolls Royce. And people are like, I want a Rolls Royce, or I have a Rolls Royce. And that's something that I see as well so much within my professional field with clients, how much they do business within their social circles of, we have super bikes, we have hypercars, we have the same classic Porsches. Because people will relate to people that are like themselves, and they'll buy from people that are like themselves. And this is why it's a really important rule for coaches to know who they are. Not who they wish they are or who they wish to be. It's who are you as a person. Because once you know who you are as a person, everything else can start to fall in place. But until you know who you are, you can't build anything. Maybe you're a tree, but you're trying to grow in a swamp. You're not going to survive. You need to find some soil. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. But I want to rewind back,
Okay.
just for a second, because my mentor was Marcos, and he was always making this correlation between nice car and your business. So he was always highlighting, when you start earning money, invest in the car. And I always think that this is liquidity. But actually now, when you make it in a way that you said, it actually makes sense. But only when you are able, because I know many guys will go and raise the credit from the bank to get the car.
But that's stupid.
That's stupid, exactly. That's what I
stupid.
want to highlight.
So it's not about going in debt to buy a Porsche, because this is also about wisdom. Because assets like a watch, I remember these conversations, I said, man, this guy's clocking it. He's buying watches and making profit the minute he's bought it. He's clocking it. That's clever. Me and you can go now, drop 120k and buy a Jet or T2. Retards. Stupidos. Or we can go down to the market, go look for a C63 AMG, a classic V8, drop about 80, 60k on that, buy that. In about 5 years' time, that'd be triple the value. That's clever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Now not relevant. I wish I did this. Actually, no, I don't wish, because if I'd have did this, I wouldn't be here today. In 2015, when I first moved to Dubai, I'm looking to buy a car. And I remember I was this close to buying a 1998 911S. Stock from the factory, fully modified, fully upgraded Porsche, top of the range one. And at the time, it was 60, 70,000 dirhams. This is 2015. Mm-hmm. If I'd have bought that car then, today, 10 years later, it's worth about 400,000 to 500,000 dirhams.
Wow. Because it becomes old-timer, yeah?
Yeah, because now it's an old-timer, it's classic, it's highly collectible. And again, this is why invest in that Mark Coles with the Ferrari, with that story. You have to identify where you invest your assets. Certain assets will always appreciate the majority of done ones will depreciate. And that's where, let's say, female context with handbags, Hermes handbags, they can be a very good investment for a female, or they can be a very stupid depreciation investment depending on how they play that sales game.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with cars, watches, clothes you buy. You got to understand, if you're going to spend, I don't know, what's it's like in the real world, like a Tom Ford suit. What's in the fitness world? I can't even think of anything. Like for me, back in the day with CrossFit, your weightlifting shoes. The weightlifting shoes you wore said a lot about you as a person and as a coach. If you could have a pair of the original, the OG Adidas weightlifting shoes with the wooden sole, that instantly upped your game within the CrossFit strength weightlifting field. About 15 years ago, and those as an investment, you'd buy them for like £200 to £500, would return itself within a month, just because of having those shoes. People instantly knew or believed you knew something. Whereas if you go I remember this one guy when I used to work at 7 Gym, I was always baffled. I was baffled by this guy because I saw him there for about 2 months till I stopped working there. I never saw him in the same outfit twice. How much money are you wasting on like latest gym outfits? That's not bringing you any return on investment. So assets are huge. What you spend your money on as a business, as an individual, will either depreciate or appreciate. And you have to know.
We have to, I want to highlight that all this, okay, makes sense. But if there is no knowledge behind, and if you are just like a sheep who is following the trends, you won't end up anywhere. You'll be washed. Because
you don't know who you are.
Exactly.
So let's say I've loved cars since I was a little boy. My dream was to build cars. So if I was as a business to invest in cars, it makes sense because it's me. I'm relatable to my car clients because I can have conversations with them. I may not have the cars now, but I've had a Shelby GT500. I've had nice cars. I've had a fully modified Jeep. I've had a 911 GT3 for a period of time. I can relate to them because I can talk their language because it's a genuine passion of mine. So if I was ever in that situation, I would already know where to invest, like a C63 AMG. My car aficionados would go, this guy knows what he's doing. If I have no idea, let's say, what do I have no idea about this? Let's say watches. And I'm going to go into watches because apparently Eloy and Luka said watches. I have no idea about watches. So I just go and drop 80,000 dirhams. I just go to a used thing. I just buy a random 80,000 dirham trash Rolex. Stupid, you don't know what you're doing. But if you was to go buy an original 2007, 2008 British Racing Green Submariner, I know that's going to hold value. I can buy a trash random, it looks shiny. I don't know what I'm doing because I'm trying to copy a trend. But if I'm really passionate about a subject because I know who I am, you're not going to make a stupid investment.
Yeah, I got several watches. I have in safe box in Serbia. I have here only 2. And it was really good investment. For instance, I have a watch which I paid 20,000 dirhams. At certain point on black market, it was 150. I didn't want to sell.
No, of course.
I didn't need, to be honest. I bought that as a value, as a reminder.
Yeah.
I was trying to actually speak on my videos on vlogs where I came from, to tell about myself. So small family, very normal family, basic family. My father, he's looking after the land. He's a proper farmer. Never in my life I was thinking that I'll be able to afford the Rolex, nice cars, and then apparently I was able to live with Russian billionaire, traveling with private jets, all this stuff. But again, fundamentals are that everything starts within you and you have to recognize yourself. And the moment I leveled up in my life is that when Not when I finished university, not when I came here. I passed through your course. We've been together for more than 3 years, I'm not sure. But like since 2017 until 2000 and...
That's hung.
No problem.
They're gonna come in and say hello. You gonna come
Hello.
say hi?
How are you?
You can say hello to Mr. Luka.
Hello.
How
Hey.
are you?
How
you
are
met
you?
Mr. Luka once before,
Hello.
I think so.
Hey, I've seen her. Hey,
How
how
are
are
you?
you
Good,
doing?
thank you. How are
Had
Hello.
a good sleep?
High
Yeah.
five. What's your name?
Yeah.
Nice to meet
you?
you.
Yeah. She
Well
met
done, you
once
wanted.
before, no?
You when she was
I
very
remember when
baby,
she
yeah.
was, maybe
When she was
2
like
years
this
ago.
size, yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Exactly. Hey.
You had a good sleep? Yeah. You gonna listen to Mama?
She always does.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. You say, have fun, Papa.
Thank you, Ellie. Have fun with
Thank
Mama.
you.
I'll see you soon.
See you. See you.
There you go.
Sorry, see my potatoes?
Mm.
What we're speaking about?
Mentorship, finishing the mentorship.
Yeah, mentorship, and then I realized actually the level of ignorance that was around, and ignorance, pure ignorance. Yeah. You cannot understand until you don't see, and even when you see, some people are quite stubborn to accept that they don't know something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I'm seeing day in, day after with the coaches. But I just want to highlight one thing which is very annoying for me. Even if I accept to train you for free, at least what can I do? I can respect you.
Mm-hmm.
Not using the phone on the floor, actually being present with the client. That's something what is really frustrating, even when I see, for instance, this morning I was in the gym and there is a coach who is pretending that he is a good coach. He was ignoring his clients.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? For what those guys are paying? But the problem is that general population is ignorant as well.
It's ignorant. It's listen. If someone's only ever been eating McDonald's, they don't know what a good burger tastes like. That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's kind of the fitness industry norm that clients have just accepted is just they are on their phone the whole time. You know, I've had people come to me for periods of time of training and they are amazed. They're like, wait, you've not been on your phone once. You've got a program, you show me all my results, all my data. What? You know, I've got clients back in Kuwait 15 years ago, and they come to me, Eloy, please come back to Kuwait. I haven't been able to train with anyone since you left.
It's hard when you have to downgrade yourself.
Yeah, and it's the fundamentals of customer service. You know, people that get used to eating at their petit maison, they're not going to go back to Starbucks because you get used to a certain service. And it's a problem in coaches today. They don't know how to do customer service. But then fundamentally, you can almost argue from a valid, logical point of view, they don't have to. If everyone else is doing it and they're busy, why does it matter? But it then comes back to the whole point of this conversation, leveling up. Because I don't believe there is a single PT, I'm so glad you've evolved out of it, but I don't believe there's a single PT that wants to continually be on the gym floor from 5 a.m. until 10 p.m.
It's impossible.
No one wants that life.
It's impossible.
And anyone that says they genuinely enjoy that life, they're a liar.
Liars. I'll tell you now, and I'll call out. I was speaking with Alex 5 days ago. I still have some PTs on the floor, and then I was speaking with him, blah 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 blah, and I said to him, I'm quite tired of this job. Like when you have to do like 5, 6, 7 hours. I'm tired. He said, I do enjoy. I said, you are a liar. You are a liar. You are not enjoying, and you're just telling to me that you want to now prove that you are doing something which no one knows. And he said, no, I'm enjoying it. I said, good, God bless you. Because, man, I was on a course with 200 coaches who were saying the same thing. I'm tired and sick of being on floor for 8 hours. Not because they don't like working with the people, because it's not scalable, first of all. Second, if we all work for money to get the freedom, what's the point then being 8, 10, 15 hours on the floor if your ultimate goal is a freedom? So it means that you're just chasing money for the time being, if I'm correct. And that doesn't mean that you, anyone, we don't like working with the people, but this is mentally taxing job.
It is. It's the fitness industry is an extremely hard job because you are physically active, you're on your feet all day, you are having to pick people up. Your job is to motivate and energize people, which means you are putting into people. You've got to be playing, well, this is assuming you're a good coach. If you're a bad coach, it's not relevant, but you're having to play a mental chess game the whole time, how to motivate without bullying, how to encourage, and how to get in their head outside of the gym. It is a very challenging job, and the realities of it is, and this is actually a hard thing because anywhere in the world, being a PT is very scalable. Anywhere else in the world.
But I'll tell you something else. I don't want to.
Well, most parts of the world. Dubai is very hard to scale.
Exactly, but you know why? Because the personal trainings in Dubai, they're very cheap. They start from lowest range. It's insane. But you know why? Because we're speaking about that.
People charging 100 dirhams an hour.
Because there is not the body which controls whether you are qualified or not. So you can go on a course of 6 weeks, 8 weeks cycle, get 6 packs, and on week 9, you call yourself certified personal trainer. And then you start taking people on the floor. And then how? Because you're gonna drop your price. So if my price is X and your price is Y and your price is way cheaper, the people who are eating all the time McDonald's will not understand difference between good burger and McDonald's, because they think what they see is applicable to them. It's not. I've been traveling around the world and I've been there and I've seen it.
Sorry.
Personal training in US starts from $250 plus. In UK, just to enter, I've been visiting gym in London, Jumeirah Beach Hotel gym. Just to enter the gym, £200. Just to enter the gym. They pass. Hire a coach, another £200. In Dubai, what? £30?
Or even that, £20. 100
For what we are talking about, man?
Yeah, so I think the problem is coaches, and this is a problem coaches have, and this has always been my mentality. You can either work 3 hours for 400 dirhams, or you work out how to work 1 hour for 1200 dirhams. And that's the scalability that's relevant to Dubai. At my peak, I was charging 2,000 dirhams an hour, and I had a waiting list. But I was only working like 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day. And it's kind of understand, what would you rather do? This is only relevant for Dubai, because nowhere else in the world is this mentality. Or maybe you're working like Monaco, maybe.
No, it's in Monaco, man.
No, I don't
US, Monaco. Even in Russia, you will not believe, like, the PT is more expensive than here.
Yeah. So the problem in PTs in Dubai, they try and get more clients instead of focusing on how they can charge more money. And I remember I had a very busy PT, has a big following, thinks he's some sort of gangster in the fitness industry. and he was trying to get me to do some stuff for him, and I said, bro, if you want me, like, I'm charging you at 2,000 an hour. What? He said, yeah. How much do you charge? Is that what you charge? That's what I charge people. How do you charge that? And I said, when they asked the price, I told them it's 2,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
What? He couldn't believe it. But you know, this guy thinks he's a gangster. He thinks he's a godfather of the industry. He thinks he owns it. I'm like, bro, you're a child. You're still charging 400. Get off it. Get off it. I haven't been charging less than 550 for more than 10 years. 400 kids play. Go away. You know what I mean? So if I say to you, what would you rather do? Would you rather work for 5 hours for 400 dirhams, or would you rather learn how to charge 2,000 dirhams for 1 hour? And that's how you have to understand, this is how you can scale in Dubai.
But for that level, you need to have very high confidence level. But confidence, it comes only if you can prove your results.
You have to deliver.
Exactly. So anyone can go and speak and all this. This Dubai. I've heard coaches. I've seen. But the core problem is that people are not legit, first of all, and people are uneducated. Third thing, they're stubborn as well. They're prone to take the shortcuts. They think that physical look can outwork the coach who is educated, who knows how to do periodization, who knows how to place the macros in the right way, who knows how to fix the menocycle, who knows actually how to get you from point A to point B without suffering. And as you said, performance ultimately is not getting sick. Which is very true if you see the core. Why do we do all? I believe that nowadays, if I bring here 10 billionaires, the people who has the most amount of money, and if you ask them one single thing that they value, they will say my health. Why do young people then would rather go and ruin their health and preach the story on social media, how to get X, Y, Z, without saying what is the co-effect that they got there, as I'll not say abusing the steroids, doing the things which can lead to, let's say, I'll speak from my perspective because I've been there, I've seen. I used to abuse the alcohol, and you know that. How many times I turned drunk. I don't want to even get further into details, but why? Because I was burned out by amount of work. I felt money, and ultimately, when you have no other goal than just collecting money, week in, week out, first thing where you go is alcohol, hanging around the guys, all this stuff, which ends up nowhere. So that's something that we can speak here, how to get through the things in Dubai and what they can learn from you, as I have learned in past. So we can highlight the several things just to break down the topic.
Yeah, so, you know, as we said in the beginning, the first important thing is to identify who you are. As a person, as a business. What is your speciality? You know, and that's a really important thing. And it's not my speciality is body comp, because they're a dime a dozen. That's like, there are people that genuinely love body composition. They genuinely love it, but they are bodybuilders. They are physique coaches. They are not personal trainers. So it's kind of me saying that, you know, my passion is a powerlifting coach. You'll know it because I'm into powerlifting. Powerlifting is what I do. I am not working with general population. I'm only working with powerlifters. So what is it you as a person enjoy? What is it you as a business are going to center on? And that's the important foundations to set. If it's general population, then your focus is not the 6-packs and the 8-packs. Your focus is a person. If you want to be focused on general population, you've got to look at yourself and go, Average person has a husband, has a wife, and they got kids. Do I have husband? Do I have wife? Do I have kids? Yes or no? No, zero relatability. So you can't have those be your target clientele. They can eventually, but you can't relate to them. If your target is the males going to the beach clubs, target the playboy lifestyle. That's got to be who you are as a person. And you then target that appropriately. And you then got to understand, once you've set your profession, the knowledge of who you are and your profession, because you're not just a personal trainer, you're a professional at something. You have a goal. The Olympics. Everything has an Olympics. Body comp has an Olympic. Bodybuilding has an Olympics. Health has an Olympics. You know? Sports has an Olympics. What is the top level you're trying to achieve? From there, you've then got to fill the knowledge gap. And that's then an endless game where you have to hire coaches, you have to hire mentors, you have to study. And sadly, the forgotten fact, studying is not a YouTube reel, it's not an Instagram reel, it's not a TikTok search. You've got to understand what is studying. What is an apprenticeship? What does it mean to actually learn? And that's then a forgotten skill as well that people have. You learn something, you put it in practice, you feedback it, you critique it, you adjust, you re-implement. And you keep doing that time and time again until you've created your systems. And I remember when I first started in this industry over 15 years ago, every Saturday, the whole day, which was my only day off from PTing, was dedicated to programming. And every Saturday, I'd bring out my laptop, I'd get out all my clients' spreadsheets, I've still got them all my clients' programs, all my clients' notes, because I'd write notes about everything. I'd assess everything, I'd look at their progress, I'd adjust, rebuild, take notes, learn, and do that till I created the systems that worked for me based upon my personality and what I wanted to do with people. But it's a system. Most people don't have that ability to self-critique, self-learn, self-evaluate, build. It's a very rare skill set. And that's just a sad reality of life. But then that's why people hire people to help them through it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's important things to understand for coaches that want to try and improve and level up and get out of the suck of 8 to 10 hour days. You've got to understand, are you fixing those 3 fundamental aspects? Do you know who you are as a human being? Because if you don't know who you are as a human being, you're just going to be doing this mess in life. 10-hour PTs straight to the bar. 10-hour PTs straight to Dubai Mall for shopping and buying pointless trash. 10-hour PTs buying the latest trash on social media. So you got to first identify who you are as a person. Identify who you're going to be as a business, as a coach, and then point 3, start filling in the gaps.
But that's the problem with Dubai market. Sorry to say, but people from I was surrounded by English coaches, and they are way more educated than
Average.
Dubai trash, I'll just say. Because, man, honestly speaking, why? Because who do you help and how do you help?
Mm-hmm.
What is the problem? For instance, I've seen the reels, many reels, like we all have 24 hours. But your 24 hours, as a parent and mine, are not the same. And I cannot relate to you unless I put myself in your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll be able to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what does it mean to have 2 kids and running around without sleep, having food most of the time cold, because one could cry there, another there. Your wife is all around the place and you have to support.
Mm-hmm.
how can I say there is no courage for me to say that we all have 24? Yes, we have 24 hours, but mine 24 hours and yours are certainly not the same. So that's something that marketing does. Like, but if you see deep inside and if you dissect the things.
But this is the problem. Coaches believe it's true. Coaches believe your 24 hours are the same as my 24 hours. I eat chicken and broccoli, you should therefore eat chicken and broccoli.
There we go.
And you know, when I was charging 2,000 dirhams an hour, it's because I was doing this one unique thing that I still do.
Yeah, I remember you were giving, even you were doing, I have to interrupt just for a second, but when I was trying to get to a point where I was eating 4,000 calories at some point, you were asking me, what would you like to eat? And that's something that you were preaching toward my lifestyle. You weren't the guy who plays chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken, rice, broccoli, potato, beef, clean food. Very easy, yes. But you need to understand that people are having life. And they are not coaches, certainly. Like, you know?
I had a fun one. A royal family of one of the Emirates, she gave me her grandmother's cookbook. Said, make a meal plan from this. Done. I've got this grandmother's Emirati cookbook. They've translated it into English. I'm plugging it into my nutrition software and I'm like, disaster, 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 disaster. Okay, this one here looks good. Chicken palm toss. Put it together and I go, what? One serving? I call her up and I say, hey, I'm just going through your, cookbook and I want to put this, I'm looking at this recipe, but I just need to check. The recipe here says, this whole recipe is for 4 servings. Am I right that meal is for 4 adults? And she goes, no, maybe 2, maybe 3, not 4 people. And I said, oh gosh, I have a problem. One serving was 2,500 calories.
Wow.
The traditional cabbage rolls, one cabbage roll,
And what they put inside? Cheese.
800 calories. One of the little cabbage rolls with the meat inside. 800 calories. And I was like, oh my Lord, have mercy. I had to really work hard on that one. But that's my uniqueness when it comes to food. You give me your life, what you like to eat, and I will make it healthy for you. And that's the key to, that's my USP, one of my USPs. But relatable. You've got to understand as a coach, what you do for you isn't going to work for your client. What works for one client is not going to work for another client. As a coach, you've got to be able to get into the head and lifestyle of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, hundreds, thousands of different people. And if you can't learn that skill, you're always going to be chasing yourself because you've only got one code, chicken, rice, broccoli. And if no one fits your chicken, rice, broccoli life, you're always going to be looking for new clients and you're never going to scale up past 200 dirhams an hour.
There's a problem. We were saying about that recurring revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows how to make 3 months sales, but what after?
Yeah.
After fat loss, there is still something, you know?
You've got to teach them then how to maintain. And in order to teach them how to maintain, you've got to understand life.
Exactly.
And that's where coaches can't, because as well, kind of comes back to point one, coaches themselves don't have a life. They don't know
They
how
do, but they are covering. I'll be very honest, man, on social media nowadays, everyone is trying to present the highlights of their life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you dig underneath that life, it's crap.
Yeah, it's trash.
Exactly.
Social media is fake.
Yeah.
People are still surprised to find out it's fake.
Yep. Why? Because just...
I remember it broke my heart. I was working with a 15-year-old. He survived stage 3 cancer. And he came to me to try and just get his life back to his stage 3 cancer. Dad died, and then came to me just to try and get back in shape and fix his life. Very, very large kid. And I remember he came in one day and goes, Eloy, I'm really sad. I want to look like this guy. I went, bro, That's not natural. You can't. That's not possible. What do you mean? That's like that guy's filters. I know that guy. That's not how he looks all the time. Number one. So you got filter application. That's photo shoot. Number two. Number three. Steroids. Number four. I read it and he went, wait, that's not how. I said, bro, no. Okay. He went through his hand. What about this guy? What about this guy? I said, I know half of these guys, and the rest of them I don't need to know them, but that's not attainable. And people believe it. People look on social. Even one of my long-term clients have the conversation. I want to, get lean like this woman. She looks like this all year round. And I've said, okay, well, we can do it. I can get you there 3 months. But
what's the price?
Does she have a husband? Does she have kids? Does she have multiple businesses? Or is her business that? Like, Paolo Saldini, whatever his name is, does carnivore.
Yeah.
That diet does work. If you're a single male living in Costa Rica by the beach making your money off YouTube.
I'm not sure if he's married or not.
He's not. He's single.
He's not single.
No,
Well,
of course that will work. Wake up and don't eat. No problem. Go surfing. Have a steak with some berries. Man.
Genuinely,
of course.
I'm thinking that the Paul, this is his USP This is his USP. Placing this all raw food, animal-based products. This is his USP. Going around and making shaming the supermarkets and all this stuff. This is his USP, and this is his core story where he is getting money. He is getting money there. For instance, I like this guy, North Lane. Norton Lane, I'm not sure, like BioLane. His program is BioLane. He's a PhD guy who is speaking straight science. So he would put everything there, and he will say why things are working and why things are not working, and which is the basically it's proven. When science says something, it's proven. And if you have multiple studies about same topic, and the guy put his whole life inside, it's proven. He's not just posting the articles who will go and read all these articles. But when you place this stuff, for instance, now hot topic is longevity, and they speaking like putting the lights, putting that. Look at your sleep. You're sleeping 5 hours, and you are searching for supplements. You are searching for shortcuts. Man, work on things that you can change. Sleep, be active. You don't need to train. You don't need to go and do the strength training 4 or 5 times per week. Go and walk. Stop smoking. Stop drinking. The things will be better without ashwagandha, without red lights, without sauna, without.
But Luka, if we told people that, how are we going to sell our affiliate links?
There we go. But that's what I'm.
How are we going to sell our affiliate links if we tell people that?
But you need to have the story which you can preach there, and that's how the fitness industry works.
Right. When I saw the devil that is social media, because we used to help autistic children and autistic families, and I always had my theories. Listen, light therapy can do a lot of things, supplementation, grounding, vestibular work. I had these theories that could work. And then I met this guy who was doing my theories. And I'm like, man, you've got all the tools, you're doing what I'm talking. This is groundbreaking. This can change families, right? These are kids. These aren't fatsos that got fat because they drank too many beers. These are kids. It's not their fault. And I remember, listen, this is what we listen. I work non-for-profit, blah blah blah. Can you help us out? Anyway, he then refused to. So I said, it's all right. I'm just going to do my digging. I know how it works in this world. Go down the right chains. You'll find most of the things you need in China. And basically, as I then started digging, what this, he is a scam artist, has fundamentally done is created a fake facade around social media, bought hundreds of thousands of followers that are all bot-driven accounts to create this thing, where he's then created all of his subsidy companies that he then says, oh, go buy this product to people. One was one that he did, and this is when I like really clocked it, and I raged out. I was like, I shared it with parents. I said, don't listen to this scam artist. He's a scam artist. And he was telling parents to go buy this $300 toothbrush because it has light technology inside. Yeah, I know the person who designed it, blah, 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 blah. You know, from there, the light penetrates into the brain, helps them get better. $300 toothbrush. I go on Alibaba, exactly the same toothbrush with exactly the same adverts for $1.
Yeah.
Scam artist on children. But this reality, again, that's like the epitome of the evil, because you're scamming out families who are desperate. But the same business model is done in the fitness industry. It's done with longevity. It's done with biohacking. It's the same business model. Create this cliche problem that is fixable by something simple, but it's not. So you then tell people, look at this unique product, buy it, but I'm actually the owner of the business because it's under a sub-business, not under my name.
Exactly. That's what.
And that's how they work.
There you go.
The average person doesn't know it.
So I'll tell you something which is not related to our topic at all, but I've heard yesterday I was listening to podcast, and then the lady seems to be very smart. She said 2 things that you need to learn in marketing and selling. Create a funnel, or create spectrum which you can automate. So you need just to find automation for marketing, for instance, where you will create the traffic. And you create automation for your product. So you need marketing and you need the product. When you get the marketing, you automate that to work without you. And you create the traffic. And you have then solid product. It can be only one product with one offer. So for instance, me and you, we are helping coaches to get 10 clients in next 30 days without wasting time on XYZ.
This sounds familiar.
But
See his Facebook
but that's how it works.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how it works. And then you create a product which is automated to work without you.
Yeah.
So you sign, you get the product, you get to upsell page, you get upgrade, and then you come to final person. But to get there, you need every step to be broken down into chunks and digested for you. Because if you take in a whole everything, is a huge process. There's the thing with the coaching, focus on single things. So identify who you help, who you are, what is your audience that you can relate to.
Correct.
And then you have 2 things, either picking them on a floor and speaking from mouth to mouth, or going into marketing funnel where you have marketing, automation, your product. Your product can be strength training. Let's say you're focusing on strength, you're focusing on body recomposition, you're focusing on, I don't know, CrossFit, functional training, you name it.
Whatever
you have like so many things, and then just break into chunks. One of the things that I'm grateful still that you helped me understand, you helped me in the past understand actually how to put the client on the right way and how to track the data, because you taught us, me and Alex, how to actually make the programs. And this was the first step. Second step, implementing this from practice, from theory to practice. I remember that we would sit and speak. You would put us in position which was very uncomfortable at the time. I felt very huge amount of discomfort when you were saying, okay, now you guys, you're gonna make the program plan for yourself. And then from this point you would take us to the floor. And I have still these videos when you are training us on the floor and showing what does it mean. For instance, we didn't know what is the tempo, we didn't know what is the lengthening position, shortening, all this stuff which you obviously you can learn, but you have to pass through so many books to get everything at a spot. or you can pay somebody who will teach you how to skip nonsense and mistakes and get what you need actually. That's what we got from you at the time. And that was the moment when I felt, okay, I'm really leveling up now. And I'm able to say, okay, my price is not anymore 200 dirhams, my price from now 350, 400 dirhams. But I could stand behind that price at that time because I knew I'm capable. And I knew that I'm not selling the just the air.
You're doing something different. You're justifying your price tag.
Exactly. So it same comes even now for online. I just want to mention one thing. Again, as I said, now for me, if I get client who is paying for VIP service, whatever, elite coaching for 3 months, I would actually need to sit and create nutrition plan, training plan, which takes time. The guy who is the friend of mine, he's creating an app which can take everything together without you sitting there. Obviously, it's not you're not wasting your time, but you can make the same thing with less effort, which is, again, this is the key. This is the point of every business. If you want to level up, you need to put your time and then extract the product out of this time. Now you are limiting this time which you place inside the creating program, etc., and just extracting that to final product where your client will see. So the moment that coach wants to level up, he gets, okay, I have knowledge now. I know how to create the things. I know how to speak with the people. I know what works, what doesn't work. I know what is the training plan for strength. I know what is nutrition plan. I know how to support with the supplements, with all this stuff. And now I take to another level where I create on a platform and I will show to my clients that I know what I do, and I will give them 12 weeks periodization and show how we'll get through from point A, point B. And then again, when you finish those 3-6 months, you can create another, but you need knowledge again. Correct?
Correct. You do need knowledge. It's the reality of training. You have to know how to make it fun, enjoyable, consistent, measurable, accountable. You got to know how to do those things, and it's understanding how to, from your point, what you're saying about marketing and scaling, and that's your speciality. But you're talking languages I never bothered looking and researching into. I'm the gym floor, I'm the relationship person. That's how I've always done business. But it's always what I've said, you can always have multiple stages of financial sales or product sales, from customized nutrition plan, generic nutrition plan, customized training plan, small group training plans, small group nutrition plans, individualized. And you can learn how to create all those tiers through the marketing funnels you were kind of saying. People go through the steps, but it all takes knowledge.
But your first step has to be knowledge has to be there.
Yeah, you have to have knowledge, because you can't, kind of like cooking. It's a good one. You can't just cook. You've got to know how ingredients work together. You've got to know.
I like to say you need to learn how to walk prior getting to a run.
Correct.
So you cannot skip these things. It's just basic stuff which you have to pass.
Yeah, I don't know if I've not explored it, I've not seen it, but I don't know if coaches in today's world are just trying to accelerate to that end game, or do coaches today still understand that there is a process? Do they understand that in today's world? I
don't think, if we're speaking about Dubai market, I don't think the coaches are actually looking at either of those two.
See, that's where it's messy and it's hard, because I guess the problem is the instant gratification culture that we're living in. But it's that reality of, you want to become an apprentice carpenter. It takes time.
Yeah.
You go to Japanese culture, you want to be a sushi chef. It takes time to learn how to cut sushi good. And it's the same thing with a PT. You cannot, I remember when I taught you guys the calipers, I said, guys, write off your first year of calipers. That first year is going to be useless. You have to pinch every client 3 times, and you're going to see how every time you do the pinch is going to be different by 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeters. Because you have not yet developed the skill, the touch, the feeling. And that only happens with time and consistency. I remember I stopped counting, but 2018, I was ready on 500 consultations for people. I said, you can't fast, and people would come and sit in on my consultation. How the heck did you do that? How the heck did you know that about that person? I go, you learn. When you've pinched 500 people, now I don't know how many it is, you learn. You see, you feel, but you can't accelerate that. You can't accelerate the process of learning. You can learn from people that teach you the hacks, but it still doesn't change experience.
You need practice. Yeah.
I remember I used to have an old Nizam Patrol, a 1998 one. I used to take it to Ras Al Khor, and I was baffled. I'd go to this scrappy garage, trash, but all that was inside was patrols and Land Cruisers, so you know you're in a good place. I'd drive in, and it was like an Afghani, Pakistani Pathan. It was a Pathan old guy. I think he was blind. You drive in, he'd listen to it, blah, 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 blah. He knew what every problem was. How?
Develop, that's the skill that the people
experience.
develop. Exactly.
And you, no matter, he could teach all the other Pathans and tell them, nothing will ever be experienced. And you have to understand that as a coach. But experience doesn't just come from firing blanks, and hoping you're going to win.
Yeah, but the problem is that the people are. I think that might be the problem that industry is facing is ChatGPT and all these things which are like just even for clients. Like I was saying, if you think that ChatGPT will sort out your problems, you're mistaken. Go and try.
Yeah.
Go and try. Same for coaches.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it's true.
Because end of the day is the human interaction. That's something that this software cannot understand.
Mm-hmm.
And cannot understand the way that you talk,
Mm-hmm.
emotions, all these things. You still need to be human.
Mm-hmm.
To guide, again, the software can remind you every night at 8 p.m. that you should do your daily check-ins, etc., etc. But what is the point if you write down that you couldn't sleep for past night, or you couldn't train for past several days, and all this stuff? That's something that you will not get from ChatGPT, because to understand why you need this human relationship.
Yeah.
That's ultimately will be. I think it will be priceless in next 2, 3, even a year.
Yeah, it will.
Because everything is automated. Everything is going on a way that it just. Why the hell I was studying and doing all these things if you can get your diploma now within 3 days,
But here's a harsh truth, and this is probably the truth for all coaches, and to build on what you said. Everyone is going automated, clients included. Like I've seen people that are using ChatGPT as their doctor. I had one of my clients, it cracked me up. And I said to her, because I'd give her nutrition plans. She plugged my nutrition plans into ChatGPT and said, I don't want to eat this meal. Please substitute with another meal from his nutrition plan that will make the macros match. And she did that, and ChatGPT would do it for her. I said, my gosh, ChatGPT is going to replace me. But she said, no, Eloy, nothing's ever going to replace you. Don't worry. You are unreplaceable as a person. Because I still have more knowledge than ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT can't do what I do. No matter how hard computers work, it will never beat me. However, your average person who is unlearned, unexperienced, unequipped will always be beaten by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So in the time when people are going to start craving human interaction again, because currently everyone's in this, it's really cool, Whoop can do everything for me, this app can do everything for me, I don't need a coach time. A time will come where these people go, I want a coach. Are you as a coach able to be AI? And most coaches today definitely can't be AI. Because we can get coaches, right? This would be a fun game. Let's go to a gym, a gym rat gym, get 50 coaches, and we'll Go, here's a client profile. We'll give 50 different client profiles. Give me a training program. We'll put the same client profile in ChatGPT. Give me a training program, and I will guarantee every time 50 out of 50 ChatGPT will win. And then that's a problem.
But at the same time, I still think that interaction is something that is needed, even if you are not qualified. And we are coming back to a point where I was saying to you, even if you get somewhere for free and you genuinely giving your time away to somebody, the least you can do is be fucking present, man.
But then this is the problem. People don't appreciate what's free.
Yeah, this is another story. That's like, for instance, I have several of my friends. They would come and ask me, "Can you get me your program plan for free?" I said no.
Yeah, okay.
Why? Not because I want money from you, because you will not gain anything out of that. Because if you want something and you want somebody to give you proper advice, pay for this advice. Not because of advice itself, because of you will respect this more. And then ultimately I end up losing friends, and basically if there's okay, I don't want to give you, and second thing, I invest my time into it, and I do appreciate myself. So it means that not only that you are not respecting the things that I do, you don't respect me as well. No, you cannot come. Sorry, even if you are a cousin, I don't want to give you free. Sorry to say.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. It comes from a lack of respect on both sides.
Exactly.
But it's people don't value what is free.
For sure, 100%. 100%.
And that's that is a huge problem in today's world. People don't value what's free, and people try and do things for free as a way of clickbaiting people in. But all you end up kind of doing is devaluing yourself.
Yeah.
And it's a fundamental truth. But when people are coming back to that point of craving human interaction and coaches being too busy on the phones, creates an interesting question. Why is the average PT on their phone so much during working hours? What are they doing?
They're scrolling on social media or texting with random people on WhatsApp or whatever.
But why is scrolling on social media
because
important?
they're just not interested into people, and because that's the problem. Again, I'm really debating very hard that it's taxing for mental health, because if I see you every day, eventually we'll get fed up of each other, right?
Well, yes and no, but theoretically no. If you are well-rounded human beings, theoretically no.
But let's just put into perspective of two humans. So if for instance, if I'm with my wife every day, most probably our interaction will not be the same, and sometimes we'll have this kind of lack of interest. Let's say I want to say because it's normal. And that same comes for coaches.
So here's a fun thought. Just because it's normal, does it mean you should accept it?
Yes and no?
No, the answer is no. So here's a fun one, right? Average oral temperature under the tongue. What should it be? Do you know?
Most probably should be a bit higher than your normal or body temperature.
So it used to be 36.7 to 37.1. That used to be the normative health ranges. Now, from my experience with biohacking and biofeedback, my Olympic athletes, 37, 37.1.
Under tongue, yeah?
Under tongue. The sickest people I've worked with, 35.5.
Less.
Direct correlation.
Why so?
Oh, that's a whole lecture. That's a whole lecture.
For instance, I know that for some medicine you need to put under tongue because...
Yes, that's for liposomal absorption of the sin skin.
Exactly, and I was thinking...
So for example, here's a fun one for you, internet. Glutathione.
Okay.
So many people taking glutathione supplementation, right? Retards. When you study glutathione, if you already take glutathione, aka you swallow it as a pill or a drink like most people are taking, it goes into your stomach, and you know what happens to it?
It just goes through you, I guess. You
No,
cannot
it gets
digest-
broken down because it's not an essential amino acid, or it's not a branch chain amino acid. It gets broken up into the primary constituents of glycine plus a few other things. It gets digested. So it's like trying to say, Luka, you're going to eat beef, so therefore you're going to become beef. It's not how it works. You can take glutathione, eat it, and it just gets broken down. Retarded, waste of money. The only way glutathione is used is for obviously IV or liposomal absorption, which requires holding it under your tongue for 30 to 60 seconds.
Okay.
If you're not doing that for glutathione, you're wasting your money, and don't listen to the person who sold it to you, because they also don't know what they're talking about. Because if they knew what they're talking about, they'll tell you a liposomal one, or they'll tell you to start IV it. Yeah, fun fact. So, yeah.
Very well. Very well.
So
I mean,
why-
this is very. That's kind of tips that I used to learn from him almost every day.
So, fun fact, why under the tongue temperature? Why is that important?
I was thinking that
And-
the under tongue is generally. I was thinking that the temperature is higher, and I know that gets better. Body gets better absorption of the
nutrients.
medicine, supplement, whatever you're taking. You know.
So here's why it's important. So we'll finish the normal, then we'll come on to this one. That was the normative range. The normative ranges have been changed now to be 35.7 to 36.4 because everyone got sicker. The normative ranges were no longer achievable. For example, another one, kids used to have to, they had to learn the act of crawling in order to be healthy. But children stopped achieving it, so the normative range was changed. No longer do kids need to crawl before they walk. But neurodevelopmentally, that's a huge red flag. But because kids weren't meeting it anymore, they removed it as a necessity. Which is why you should never accept normal, because normal doesn't necessarily mean right.
But that's what I said. Yes and no.
The answer is always no. Your average normal person is trash. Your average normal normative, you go for a blood test, you get the reference ranges. How are the reference ranges made?
I believe by the book Who is Healthy, right?
No.
How?
They go to America, they get 500, 100,000, 3,000 people from the streets, measure them, beginning, end, normal ranges. I don't want the normal ranges of the average American.
Wow.
So, vitamin D.
I think the
Normal
only-
ranges for vitamin D. They'll say if you're above 28, 30, you're good. In the professional football world, if as a professional footballer you are below 80, you're not allowed to play.
80.
Why is that? Because the studies have shown when a footballer is at 80 or less, their chance of injury is, I think, 300% more. Ideally, football players should be between 100 and 120. So if Cristiano Ronaldo, there isn't a single male in the world that wouldn't want to look like Cristiano Ronaldo, aims to maintain 100 to 120, why are we as a human population accepting 28 to 30? Because someone says that's normal. But normal is based on a bunch of sick people.
Okay, makes sense.
So you don't accept normal. You go, what is peak? That is normal. Everything else is sick. It's not, so in today's world, it's normal people getting sick every 2 months, 3 months, having to go to the doctors, more antibiotics, I'm sick again, I've got a flu, I've got a respiratory infection. My friend, that is not normal. That is a byproduct of being sick, and you've now accepted it as normal. Normal is you get a flu maybe once a year. That's what it used to be 20 years ago. You'd get a flu once a year, that was it. But now everyone's always sick. Everyone's all got asthma. Everyone's all got digestive issues. What are you talking about? 20, 30 years ago, we'd all be able to eat anything. The whole world ate anything. They weren't going around diarrheaing themselves, farting like a balloon. What's changed? It's just now it's become normal. So why are you all accepting normal?
But would you redefine the normal as trend then? Whatever is trend, it's normal. Is it something, what would you accept, for instance, as you said, like if we compare the life 30 years ago and today, you'll see two different eras. Yeah, what was normal in 80s, 90s is not normal now.
Correct.
People will think this is, I would say, you can name the word, like this is absurd, you know.
So it's for me, I never, in my life, I've never accepted normal. I've always believed there's more. I've never accepted you cannot do. I've been torn down, I've been shredded to parts, you know, I've gone up. I remember when I was a kid, my tibia doesn't fit in my knee. Like, come feel it. Feel this.
Oh yeah.
That's a birth defect. And I remember, it should sit and should be flush. Mine sits out, it now free floats. As a kid, I got told, listen, I'm like 7, 8 years old. You need to have a surgery, be in a leg brace to try and fix it. Or if you don't fix it, you're never gonna do anything physical. No, you'll never play rugby. You definitely can't join the army. I'm here 38 years or 30 years later, been in the army. I've run a 5-minute mile. I've run 4 miles cross country with 50 kilos on my back. I've double 2 reps, squatted 2.5 times body weight. I've competed in the CrossFit regionals. I've competed in jiu-jitsu. I've been there, done that. I have done what doctors said to me was an impossibility. I will not in my life accept this is just how it is. It's in part, you know, the core root of my relationship with God is based upon this. People in churches go, well, this is just how it is. I go, well, no, that's not all there is. The Bible shows there's more, so I'm not going to accept normal. Just because you're weak and you've accepted normal, I'm going to push myself past what's normal. Yes, you're telling me I can't quit my corporate job, move to the Middle East and start a new career as a health and fitness person. Watch me do it and watch me tear it apart while I'm at it. And I did. You're never going to work with... I've worked with presidents, kings, queens because I didn't want to accept normal. So for me, it's just because it's normal doesn't mean I would want to accept it. I go, what is optimum? Let me look at the peak of optimization across relevant, studyable time. Right? We can say optimum male look like Spartacus. We can't really study that and say that is optimum male. But we can say an optimum male should have an erection every single morning until about the age of 38. I'm 38 now, where it starts to diminish. Yeah. That's studyable science. So if you're a 23-year-old male, I've consulted with 23-year-old males, and they don't understand the problem of a morning erection. I'm saying, what? I haven't had since I was a teenager. I said, man, as a male, you should wake up with a boner, and you've got this issue. I need to pee, and like, do I? Yeah,
exactly.
I'm just gonna go pee in the shower.
I need to sit.
You need to sit. But then that's normal. So just because people today don't do it, 20 years ago, you know?
I blame for these things. I blame the system because
Matrix.
Exactly, but not as a matrix as Andrew Tate is placing out there. But man, we ultimately are exposed to shit everywhere we turn our heads on. Food. I remember you said something long time ago, and you said, I stopped eating vegetables. And I was, why? Because you said to me, where is your credit card? And I was saying to you, like, I didn't know where you were pointing. I said, it's in my pocket. I said, take this credit card. This is the amount of plastic that you eat on a daily basis. And it's true, man, it's messed with your hormones. Next thing, pollution. Again. Third thing, obviously the blue lights and all this stuff. We are surrounded, and that's now what is normal. Maybe as you said, now I'm getting now to a point where you were 15 minutes ago. 40 years ago, that wasn't normal. Normal was different standard.
Correct.
I would say gold standard. The problem is that at that time, I think, again, system was against people, and people were dying from cardiovascular problems, cancer. Now even the cancer is like nowadays is sickness of future, right? And they don't want ultimately. I don't know if you can speak about that, but I believe that system doesn't want to find a cure for cancer.
Of course not. But so the under the tongue thing, and this will link. Well, I'll get there. That's old science. How to fix thyroid issues. So the way pre-1960s, someone that had a metabolism issue and a temperature, and what they would then take is pig thyroid, because pig thyroid has bioidentical thyroid as human hormone, and they would take, say, 1 capsule, 2 capsule. It was actually fun. This supplement, the selling of pig thyroid was then banned about 15 years ago, made illegal across the whole world. Pirates, because it works.
It worked, yeah.
So you would take it, and you'd find the dose that brought your temperature to 36.7 to 37.1. You'd maintain that for 3 months. You'd bring the dose down, 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 off. Thyroid's fixed. Normally 3 to 6 month process. Isn't that mad? Thyroid issues all fixable by a gland from a pig, which granted in this region they don't eat, but across the world that gland is just being thrown in the bin now because it's banned. But it could fix, and that's how they used to do it. Oral temperature. Cancer, I've got books there, 1800 books from the 1800s, were talking about how they cured cancer. And not like the little cancers we have today. Back then, in the 1800s, early 1900s, cancers were only identified when they were great big bulbous tumor lumps. They weren't like, oh, there's a little tumor under here. No, this person has developed a lump the size of a melon. That's now a cancer. And they were curing it. And what are the books? Teach you how to cure it. The world doesn't want that. Why? Why was the pig thyroid banned?
Against the system.
You cannot make money from it.
Against the system. There we go. And all these things, yes.
I had a fun one. So this is about, I remember this because I was a conspiracy theorist, and now I know I'm not crazy. I used to work for a family. Worked with the dad, then some of the daughters, and then I worked with the mum. I just did one consultation on the mum, and she was 66 years old at the time. I said to her, what's your secret? You're the healthiest female I've ever done a consultation on. You've not had a single red flag. You've not had a single yellow flag. You've not had a single health issue all of your life. You are a perfect, healthy female. What's your secret? And her secret was, I remember this family, for breakfast they ate millet. They didn't have porridge. They didn't have wheat. They had ancient grains. This family, and she said, we don't take anything invented after 1960. And here's the fun fact. This family owned one of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in the world. And she goes, do not take anything invented after 1960. Because they make their, I remember speaking with the dad, and I'm just saying, I have no idea how to relate to you, man. His gym watch was a limited edition Rolex Pepsi, which was more mashed up than my car is. You just mash up how much is a Rolex Pepsi, the original first one, worth?
I paid for my like 40,000 dirhams, but the grey market is like double.
Yeah, and his was the first one that was made, that first rollout. Just trashed it. That was his, I'm trashing it. And his debate at the time was, which private plane do I buy? This one, this is faster, but then this one I've got to share the toilet with the pilot. I don't want to share my toilet with the pilot. But imagine, top 10 pharmaceutical company, what secret to their health and longevity was they don't touch their own poison. And I went into my conspiracy theory.
It's just like Matrix. I really think that we are linked. As I said, look, if I put here 10 guys, we'll stay in our lane. We'll speak about personal trainers. They would grind for 10, 15 hours to earn money, to earn freedom. And then you get to square one. Why are you doing this then? If your ultimate goal is to get freedom, why the hell? So it means that you are trading yourself, getting for this trade money, putting this money into something else to earn the freedom. But this is the rat race. The job of your clients will not make rich, for sure, 100%, no matter what. Only when you know how to transfer the knowledge and implement that on a human being and repeat that for multiple times, and you have proven strategy how it works, and you know actually, and you can understand the other human being in front of you, then you come to another game which is called scaling. And I still think that personal training is why is not scalable. It was while Corona was here, because people were ultimately moving from PT to online coaching. Or got before that and after that to the game is still fighting for the breath above the water. So that's again matrix. I think it's if you dissect the things, because often we do the things and we don't think about consequences, right? Why are we doing certain things? What is the reason why I'm coaching people? Ultimately, it has to be one thing. You enjoy helping people. That's the first thing. If you don't enjoy helping people, then it's no job for you. But genuinely, if you are just there for taking the money, trying to find the better future, whatever, you'll
always fail.
Exactly.
Because come back to the point when you don't know who you are.
Who you are, exactly. And truly, I believe that matrix is all around, but matrix is there because people are not using the head on a way that's supposed to be used. You dissect the things and ask yourself why certain things are working and why I'm doing certain things. But you need to sit with yourself and answer. And then ask yourself genuinely, do I know to do that? If I don't know, I go there and ask for help. Or I take another course and I get to self-development where I'll learn myself how to teach others. So there are always two options which you can implement.
And it's always this is the fundamental truth, to link with what you said. And you can tell I like stories. I had one of my clients. He's my most favorite client. If he's listening, Mr. Dumb Stuff. We'll just call him Mr. Dumb Stuff. I'll fix him. He does something dumb and comes back to me. I don't want to see him as a client, but he keeps coming back because he keeps doing dumb stuff. And he's Mr. Dumb Stuff. He's a very clever guy. And he just finished doing his MBA, super clever. He runs a startup. And I said, great, man. Congrats, you finally finished all your studying. What are you going to do now? And he goes, I've started a videography course. I want to start learning videography. I'm like, why? It's not even related to your industry. Why? And he goes, well, I don't know anything about it. I'd like to learn it. And if I don't learn something new, I'm just going to fill that time with something stupid like playing computer games. And I was like, I take my hat off to you, sir. Because it's the fundamental truth. People have time. Everyone has time in their day. Even if you're busting 8-hour PTs a day, you still have time. And what are you going to choose to invest your time in? Asking the important questions of why. Are you going to sit down and go, why? Why am I doing this job? Why am I behaving like this? Why am I having spontaneous purchasing? Why? Ask yourself those whys to then dig to the truths so you can then start to implement correct learning procedures. Why are you drinking? Well, because I'm lonely. Okay, so go find some friends. Sitting drinking alone in a corner, for example. Lonely, so you drink yourself into a stupor. Okay, just don't be alone. Fix it. Why can't I get anyone past body comp? Because I don't know anything else worth it. Okay, go learn something about it. Why is it I don't know how to close a sale? Because I've never learned. Okay, go learn a course. Why is it me? I don't know social media because I've never learned about it. I've never taken the time. I've never been consistent. Okay, do something about it or accept it.
But end of the day, we're coming for same point, consistency.
Yeah.
If you don't put the hours, the miles, same with the runs.
Yeah.
How to become better runner.
You have to run. You have to run.
Simple as that.
Yeah, just run.
There is no secret formula. Even with the things, at least you will learn from experience, and it means that you will learn what will lead to a failure, and what will lead to success, and then you will develop this success mechanism, which is eventually will be your reflect. So basically, why don't we fall down when we walk? Because we develop the reflex that we know how to walk.
Yeah.
If I take an infant, the baby,
Yeah, they fall.
they'll fall because they don't have reflex, and you need to put certain steps. But there is no answer why a baby cannot walk and we can walk. It's simple. Same when you sit on a bike. You need to put the reps
to learn.
Exactly. Not every rep will be successful. Even if you go today and you just get and you want to lift 400 pounds deadlift, most probably will fail.
Yeah.
But if you put the system in place, and even if system it doesn't work for the time being,
You ask the why.
you ask the why and you change the system. But at least now you know that system lifting 10 reps for 100 kilos will not eventually get you to lift 200 or 400 pounds. You need to change your system. And there are two ways. Either you go and ask somebody who has knowledge about it, who has done it, who has been there, or somebody who is willing to sell his knowledge.
Yeah.
And you implement. You try. Doesn't mean that it will work, but you try, and then you can distinguish who is actually who is the expert. Exactly, expert. Who is the expert? Who has expertise about the things?
You know, we were speaking about red flags in the first podcast, and I've just pinged it. This is, and how do you know someone's a con artist versus how do you know someone's a real expert? You want to know the number one way to tell?
Tell me.
Stories. Real experts talk via testimonies and experiences in real life. Experts talk science without testimony. Why? Because scam artists, con artists, people that learn for the sake of social media and selling something don't actually have any stories to tell. They've just replicated, regurgitated. I can remember the time I got in the best shape of my life and I was competing at my highest level at CrossFit, and my secret, and this is why I never tell people to do CrossFit to get good at CrossFit, my secret was every day in Q8 summer, I'd strap a sled to myself, not every day, 3 to 4 times a week, I'd strap a sled to myself and I'd drag 200 kilos up and down the road for an hour. That was my secret, conditioning.
Yeah, I know this story. You told me this already several times.
But you know, people, and this is the biggest flag. Like, you've got so many stories you can tell about different types of clients you've helped. You've got so many stories you can tell about how you grew your social media through so many different strategies. I've got so many stories I can tell of different types of clients I've helped with different types of nutrition plans. Man, my worst client I ever had, 98 kilo jiu-jitsu brown belt world champion. Eloy, I need help with my nutrition plan. Okay, I've become a vegan and I won't eat tofu. The heck? The heck? Can you imagine trying to create a 98 kilo jiu-jitsu, trains 5 to 8 times a week, vegan plan without tofu? Man, that was hard work.
I would just say I'm not the person.
You go jump off a cliff. Man, you became a vegan. Alas, no one can help you now. Your IQ is gone.
I really I would be like, what the maze is that? Like, what do I need to do, man? I'll pay you just to leave, you know. Do not come to me. You know?
Yeah, I'm paying you. Just don't give me this headache.
Honestly, how? Like, I mean,
oh,
that's the thing. Understanding who you are ultimately will give you the answer who you help.
Yeah, it does. And I think that's a big thing for people to understand: truth versus experts, truthful experts versus internet experts. And I think from my experience with all of my mentors, all of the people I've learnt with, you know, every single person that's taught me has taught through stories.
Because this is the best way, even for the social media. If you're good at I'm developing the storytelling, because I don't want to be another coach or whatever you name, like coach who is just there showing six packs and getting attention to that, or the female who is putting ass in front of the camera and showing the ass, and then according to that, exactly, there we go. There we go.
That's going to be Instagram famous.
Man,
there you
but
go.
this is the problem that we are having those days.
Just trash.
Because there is no storytelling moment. There is no valid storytelling moment. Something that is proven, that works, that has meaning. What is the meaning? What do you know about me if I get here now, take off my t-shirt, take several photos, bring the traffic on my page, and average human being will say, okay, he knows something. How do you know that? According to what? According to what? And then, oh, but look, if he knows how to do this on himself, but you are not me. I need to find the way how I can actually help you. You have your day, you have your life, you have your routine, etc., etc. I can tell you what is discipline for me. But it doesn't mean that it will be for you.
Correct.
For instance, and we are coming back to a point where your 24 hours is not the same as mine.
Correct.
And if I get there and I say I'm helping busy dads strip 10 kg of body fat with 90 days,
That's
how the fuck I know I'm not a dad?
Yeah.
I don't know what your day. I can tell you. Hey,
See,
listen.
it comes back to my point that I said in podcast 1, performance is life. And coaches also need to remember, because it's causing, especially here in this city, I see so many families and marriages being torn apart because of normally one individual that has become hyper fixated on aesthetics because of social media. And it's because coaches are driving this nonsense. You as a dad need to do something like this, but you as a dad are not doing that. You as a human aren't doing that. You as a person may be in shape, but are you actually active in your family? Probably not. You know, because it's a genuinely very rough battle. There are some maybe that can do it, but as a genuine, kind of like, you know, I'm sure Raul and Mike, we both worked with Raul, and I respect this man so much to have come from what he started to what he was at 21.
Man, genius.
Genius. I've just seen the new thing he's released,
Genius,
which looks unbelievable. You're like, man, I may even put some money into that. That looks sick.
Yeah.
Like, why not? $72 a month. It's worth a gamble for 6 months to see if it does something for me.
Man.
But
Genius.
but I said not everyone can do what he
But
did.
the guy is very grounded, and the guy knows his field. And he said to me, listen, why did I hire you? Because I don't want to break my head with the things I don't know.
Yeah.
I might find this advice on the internet or anywhere, but why would I waste my time if I can put this time doing something else? I go and hire the expert.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you don't know something, genuinely, this is general advice. Hire an expert.
Oh man, you know, this is my one red flag. And when someone says this to me, I don't take them as a client. They say to me, I am an expert, I am a nutritionist, and I go, oh, what have you done? I've researched. So I'm like, ladies.
Yeah, but like
people will do this in their helping. Instead of going, I'm going to hire an expert and consult, I'll just DIY it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, this is the problem. But that means usually that these people, they're having so much free time in their life. If they are busy with doing the things which ultimately you can. For instance, there is, I don't want to get to this high, but there is Alex Hormozy. He said something very good. If your hour is 2,000 dirhams, generally I don't want to do anything what is less than 2,000 dirhams in this hour. I'll find people and I'll pay them to do the things for 50 dirhams an hour, because I can put this 1 hour in something else and earn 2,000 dirhams, and I can cover entire thing instead of me wasting my energy, my time on things that I can basically outsource or priorities. Basically, it's a low priority, high priority. So, as well, understanding this thing, you need to understand the finance, which is again something that you were working on me. But at that time, I generally I didn't understand anything what you were saying. But lately, for instance, I understood that actually coaches are not educated as well about finances.
Basic financing. You
Yeah,
understand it. You can outsource, you know, like you said, if I'm earning 2,000 an hour, I'm not going to do a job I can outsource to someone for 50 dirhams an hour. Why am I going to do that? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, one of my clients, I worked with her dad for a while he was in town. Again, super success story. I love his story. Dad said to him, you're useless, you're going to do nothing. At the age 21, this is back in the 60s, 70s, he walks home with a check to his name for £200,000. Poof! Poof! Like real success story. And I remember he was telling me an argument with his wife, and his wife said to him, why aren't you doing the painting? Why aren't you cutting the grass? He said, if you wanted a husband that can paint the house and cut the grass, go marry a builder. You married me, and I earn more, so I can pay someone to do it, so I don't have to do it. Because in the time it will take me to cut the grass, I can earn 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 10 times, 20 times what it would cost me to pay this person to do it instead.
Exactly.
This is a very successful mill from like 60, 70 odd years ago. And it's the fundamental truth. It's a fundamental root of success as a business, as a human in finances, is understanding how to outsource, how to do your funnels, how to manage the sales, the inquiries, the forms, all of this. So you don't have to waste your time on time wasters.
Yeah, but before we get there, you need the basics, which we are starting with again. Understanding who do you help actually. Yes. Understand who you are. Understand the principles, core principles of training. Yeah. We are staying in our lane now, fitness. Yeah. And look, I never told before, but lately I've been thinking, I'm not a trainer. Mm-hmm. You are not a trainer. How many lives you've been changing and you changed till now? How many people showed up depressed, fat, sick? Man, we saved so many lives. Ultimately, it's true. And this is not the job of trainer. You need to be a coach who can pack everything together. And then we are coming to a point that our job is disrespected in a way that so many people are presenting the things that they don't understand the core value of being a coach. Mm-hmm. That you're actually changing people's life. Period. Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm. As much as you invest in your fitness, wellness journey, all this stuff, understanding the body itself, it keeps you away from doctor. Mm-hmm. Very simple. Mm-hmm. Very simple. And then I was listening. There is a Huberman. It was a lady on his show just lately. I think 2-3 days ago he plays the podcast. Lady who is 84 years old. They ask her what is her formula for long, healthy life, which stands for longevity. Longevity is living healthier longer. Yeah. She said, eating clean, waking up at 5 a.m. I'm not saying this is the something that I implement in my life, but waking up at 5 a.m., going to the gym as the first thing in the morning, hitting my zone 2 cardio, eating clean 85% of the time, going to bed at 9 p.m. Simple as that. And the lady is able to lift, like, I don't know, he plays there, maybe I'll give now this information, but I think it was like 100 pounds deadlift, which if you take now 10 females, most probably 8 out of 10 will not be able to do. And the lady is 84. We can place this reel, if you can find, Lazo, ako možeš nađeš taj reel da ga staviš u ovaj podcast, samo da poslušamo, tako da možemo se osnovati. I just said now to editor. Plays the reel inside actually, because I was looking at it like 2-3 days ago, and I said, this is my goal. I want to be like this lady, 84, lifting weights, living healthy life, doing the things in a proper way, but ultimately you need to understand yourself.
Did I tell the story of my great uncle in Spain?
No.
So I always remember this, and this was when my brain started thinking, and this was in 2014. I was in my family's area in Spain, it's up in the mountains, and my grandfather's brother asked me to go up to the roof, the attic, and bring down a jug of aguardiente. It's a 20-litre jug, asked me to bring it down. I climb up through the little hole in the roof like this, I go in, I scramble it, I shout, find it, and I have to bring it down. I'm like, oh my gosh. And this is when I was at the peak of my fitness. I am swearing, I'm sweating, I'm struggling to bring this thing down from the hole in the roof. I get it down and I go, gosh, Theo, how long has this been up there? I think it's like a 20-year-old age thing. He goes, oh, I put it up there last year. The man's 90. I go, how the heck did you put this thing? I'm there going, I can't put that up there. How did you put that up there? This is 20 litres plus the thickness of the jug. I had no idea. And then like 2-3 years prior to that, he lives on a mountain, he cut down all the trees himself, chopped them up into, there's firewood for 2 generations at his age, you know.
Wow.
That's longevity.
This is inspiring, this is actually inspiring. For me, this I find these stories.
Yeah. And then this is longevity. He's now over 100 and you wouldn't know it.
Because you know why? I believe that with the age, you get this thing that you appreciate more life.
Mm-hmm.
And that you realize the mistakes that you made in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and then when you get to certain age, you actually start to appreciate life more, and then you add value to the age that are coming, and then you want to do, eventually you want to do something regarding that which you didn't think of when you were in your 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe, like, you know. Sad story for me when I see the 40, 50 old, 40, 50 years old guy partying like animals. Come on, man. And this is the reality. Where you been? Carried but dropped, you know. I just need to check if we're filming this, because
I think it must be,
yeah.
So it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we just need to close this. Just quick one. If you can give one advice to a coach who is really lost and who is willing actually to do something about his life journey, becoming an expert, what would that be? A part that can fill up our form. What can be?
So apart from hiring us, of course, the biggest return on investment someone can do that's in that situation is what you said, the power of why. Ask why and don't accept the first nonsense answer that comes into your head. You have to sit and get open with yourself about why. And it's not like, why do you suck at your business? Oh, because I'm not in good shape. That's a lie, and I'm living proof of that. We've got male peak, dad bod peak. Well, I'm here saying 2,000 dirham an hour. You know, the things I've done can testify to it's not because you're in good shape that you're a good coach. It's going, why? Why do you suck? Is it because you actually don't like your job? Is it because you're in it for the wrong reasons? Is it because you don't know? Why don't you know? You don't like to study. Why don't you like to study? Because you're lazy? No. Because you haven't found someone you can relate with? Maybe. Find someone you can relate with. Can't afford them? Why? You've got habits somewhere that's taking your money. You know, you've got to get deep with the whys. Because once you get deep with your whys as to your problems, you can also get deep with the whys as to why you want to succeed. Why do you want to be a better trainer? Why do you want to succeed as a trainer? So you can have loads of followers? Wrong answer, you'll fail. Why do you want to be successful as a trainer? So you can build a gym back home in India? Okay, maybe you'll win, maybe. It's not. Most of the time, the big successful gym people that I know that make good gyms, they never started off wanting to build a gym. You know, I know that owner of warehouse gym, he never started, that wasn't the start of his life, wasn't to build warehouses, what it is today. It's wanted space where he could train. The big successful people I know that own gyms, they never started off with, I want to build a gym franchise. It was just, I need somewhere to train. or I need somewhere where I can train my clients in a professional manner. It was never about the franchise. It was never about building new people.
Yeah.
You know, it never started that. See, that's why the why is so important. Because your why to your failure and the why to your success will fundamentally give you the fire you need to either cook a good bit of bread or to burn your house down and ruin it. Because you have to understand that why and you tame it. Whether good or bad, you have to tame it.
And you have to be honest with yourself.
And it takes time. You can't sit there and go why you accept the first one. Take a time out. Remove the distractions. If you can't spend 2 hours away from your phone, you've got a problem.
You're a slave.
You've got a problem. You're addicted. Addiction is weak. You're weak as a human, and that's it. Accept it. Once you accept you're weak, you can fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you don't have the deception anymore. But it's got to start with the why. Why can't you sit still long enough to get to the truth? You're addicted to this. Okay, you've got a problem. You're weak. Good. Now you can fix it. How do I get unweak? You train yourself. How do you train yourself to not be addicted to this? You know, and there are many systems out there. Turn collar off, put grayscale on, put time limitations on, be strict with the time limitations, etc. etc.
Be honest with yourself. I believe in one thing. You cannot dishonest.
Yeah.
You cannot be dishonest with yourself, because end of the day you will see this mirror, and if you don't like the mirror, do not blame mirror because you are ugly. Blame yourself.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Start with that, and that was for me a recognition point where I unite myself with my values, core values. But you need time, as you said, and you need to be honest. Find why, guys.
Was a good talk.
It was a really good one. But look, I just wanted to say, if you would like to see more episodes like that, obviously we need your support. And I'm doing this for free, completely for free. So all you can do is to subscribe on channel, comment what you would like to see, and then another things for coaches, we'll be dropping the application form down there. You can tell us your name, your struggles, and then we'll get back to you.
And listen, I know I said no one appreciates anything for free, but on this one episode, ask any health question and I'll answer it for free.
Yeah. There we go. Hey, look, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. It was a good one.
That was good.